a reptile with an extremely long neck, almost like a floating pole. It lived along the coast and hunted with quick ambushes from the water. Identified in the series as a rhynchosaur, it appears in the opening segment of the documentary as one of the primitive reptiles of the early reptile world. This was an ancient and mysterious archosaur, likely one of the earliest land predators, living before more advanced forms began to appear. This small and agile two-legged animal is thought to have been one of the closest known ancestors of the first true dinosaurs. It was one of the first truly giant herbivores, and it marked the start of the long age of sauropod dominance across the land. Small, quick, and highly opportunistic, it fed on insects and small animals, taking advantage of any prey that was easy to catch. In the series, we see a desert pterosaur performing its courtship ritual, though the moment is rather abruptly interrupted. This early Triassic predator was lightweight, agile, and fast, making it one of the first large bipedal carnivores of the post-extinction world. A primitive herbivore with a flexible posture, it is shown in the series being gradually displaced by the rise of the earliest sauropods. One of the earliest true sauropods, it was robust and heavy-built, adapted to feeding on the new vegetation spreading across the landscape. This small dinosaur had a varied set of teeth, suggesting a flexible omnivorous diet and a surprisingly complex lifestyle. Although it unfolds in a terrifying setting, it includes some of the most curious, intriguing, and unforgettable scenes in the entire series. This gigantic sauropod stands as the largest animal in the entire series, and among all the plant eaters, it has absolutely no rival. A small feathered dinosaur like this offers valuable clues about how flight may have first evolved in ancient prehistoric animals. A massive Asian predator built for speed and power, ruling its ecosystem as one of the most dominant hunters in the wild. The iconic plated dinosaur takes center stage in the film's first breathtaking action sequence. We've never seen a stegosaurus this dangerous before. The dominant hunter of the Jurassic brought to life in one of the most terrifying portrayals of this dinosaur ever seen on screen. In the middle of a snowy landscape, this feathered tyrannosauroid blends in almost perfectly, proving itself a true master of camouflage. Here we see a lesser-known Asian titanosaur, broadly described as a sauropod, making its way through cold, snowy landscapes. It was a pterosaur with an elongated jaw, specially adapted for catching fish in rivers, lakes, and shallow coastal waters with remarkable skill. An early bird with teeth, perfectly adapted for precision hunting, fast enough and sharp enough to make life difficult for pterosaurs. In the series, the creature is referred to as a stegosaurus, and it's even presented as the final surviving representative of its entire lineage. On screen, this ankylosaur performs feats never before seen from its kind, making it a bold, creative decision, but also an undeniably stunning one. A dwarf sauropod, and a perfect example of island evolution, smaller in size, but incredibly well adapted to its environment. In contrast, this pterosaur was also shaped by island evolution, but in its case, that process produced a gigantic apex predator ruling the skies. The most famous semi-aquatic predator of all time, enormous, majestic, and often portrayed as a remarkably intelligent and efficient hunter. An expert swimmer, almost like a prehistoric loon, it cuts through the water effortlessly and delivers one of the most intense chase sequences in the film. A colossal mosasaur, the undisputed apex predator of the Cretaceous oceans, dominated the seas with sheer power, speed, and deadly precision. This is a common yet highly successful herbivore, and the series showcases two different variants along with some truly incredible action sequences. One of the largest flying animals to ever exist, this incredible creature was a true titan of the skies, soaring high above the ancient world. With its thick, domed skull and head-on fighting style, this combat sequence works as the ideal prologue for the journey we're about to begin. Perhaps one of the most cinematic and memorable adaptations of this herbivore, it quickly became a true fan favorite for audiences everywhere. A living tank of pure power and destruction, at the heart of one of the most epic and visually unforgettable sequences in the whole series. Despite newer theories portraying it as a fast hunter, it is still shown here as a calculated ambush predator, relying more on timing than speed. Roarers, which creature from the dinosaurs surprised you most? Comment below.